Hello there, my name is PolishLynx. Let's continue. Seduce me, the Otome. I stepped out of my room and closed my bedroom door behind me. As I walked down the hall to the ground lobby, the Incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed to the nines as proper servants.
Whoa! They really know how to dress well, don't they?
Yeah. I was slightly taken aback on how great the boys looked in uniform. Each had the pose of a perfect gentleman, even some. I slowly began to climb down the steps with Suzu and Naomi behind me. The boys watched as I descended the staircase one step at a time. Like knights waiting for the princess, I felt my face slightly flush, but I quickly shook my head to try and regain my thoughts. As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me and walked me down the final step smiling.
As beautiful as a princess, miss.
Thank you.
So, are you prepared for tonight?
Yes, I'm ready, to be honest, no, as ready as I will ever be. Yeah! I had to be confident in my skills. My dad expected a lot of me already. If I faltered at this party, who knows what he would think of me. I had to assure myself in every word that came out of my mouth that I was ready. The other boys smiled assuringly at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time. Almost right on cue. The doorbell rang. I gulped. Ooh. I could practically feel my dad's aura from behind the door. Sam and Eric quickly rushed to the door and opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents, both dressed in their best. Hey Mom! Hey Dad!
Oh my! I didn't know your bequeathment came with servants.
It was probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny good service?
I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys. They didn't ask for verification or anything. I looked to the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intently at my parents. Were they using their powers on them? They had to be. There was no way they'd be okay with this otherwise.
I guess the servants counted as belongings to the house.
My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It had only been a couple of days, but living away from the ones who raised me was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit.
Gorgeous! You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
I looked to my dad, who was looking around the lobby like an inspector. I stood my ground, waiting for him to look at me. When he did, he let a small smile grace his lips.
Your mother's right. You look like you're all grown up.
The world around me stopped as my heart pounded hard in my chest. Did my dad just compliment me on his own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear at his words. I was beyond speechless. Thank you, Daddy. However, his cold face quickly turned as he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
My potential?
To become CEO of the company.
I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked to the Incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Suzu raise their thumbs at me for encouragement. I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a wave in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden, the main hall of the lobby was full of guests. Men and women in formal or business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook hands with many officials and executive members, putting on the professional face my dad trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and handshake. Many even asked me questions. I tried my best to reply as naturally as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what we want to say.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
It's even being different by which would stay. It's be okay, I guess. Could be better, to be honest. Actually, when I can find.
I'm so sorry about your
Wait!
grandfather passing
Stop!
away.
Return! What?
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
I'm doing my best. Well, I'm fine. It's pretty good, actually.
I'm so sorry about your grandfather passing away. It really hit all of us hard.
Sorry, but I don't. Excuse me, I need to go. Well, thank you for your condolences.
Do you have college plans?
I must live in present. I'm not. It's kind of empty here. Yes, I do. There's possibility to be in college. Yes, I do. I felt like the questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't about me. They were about the company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
Oh, fuck! I did not care. Don't ask me. I have no freaking clue. That depends on course. It will get back to on track soon. It's hard to say. On track.
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
I have no idea about the policy. I don't really pay attention. It's okay. This policy reflects my own values, so I personally think it's great. If I read me, I will be most gonna. This one.
Do you think the company should expand from just toys?
No. I'm gonna leave. It's a possibility. I don't think that means many. It's a toy company. Why? It's a possibility. Eventually, the questions stopped, and I was back to being by myself. Naomi and Suzu were mingling in the crowds, and the Incubi were doing their jobs. So I was all alone in a room full of strangers. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly, my mom pushed her way through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
Get him the fuck out of here. We don't want any sons. Goodbye. With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple of years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, suddenly asking for my hand.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis.
I don't
Pleasure to meet
care.
you, Miss Anderson.
No one cares. Place your hand, simply not to him. Okay, place hand, okay, whatever. Place my hand in his, he raised it to his lips and kissed over my knuckles. I felt my face burn slightly at the gesture. Andrew smiled at me before releasing my hand.
I'm honored to be invited here.
My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew? Well, guess, because she's... I don't like her mother as well from now on.
So, you organized this party very well, Miss Anderson.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh properly, before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
Yeah. Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
Oh, wow, I didn't know he talked about me. That would explain everyone's fascination with me and their rational, personal questions. Or rather, personal questions. I looked to Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off and I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be hiding something. Whether it was good or bad, I was not able to find out. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense.
So, you're Jared's son.
Andrew's body twitched slightly, whether it was fear or insult. Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile and the air had become, enough to break at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
Well,
I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO. I thought the vice chairman wanted the position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
of course not, sir.
And polite as well. Interesting.
If you'll excuse me.
Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people. Follow him, or stay put, and... Stay put? I watched as he disappeared in the crowd towards the back of the house. I was worried, but I gave him space. He obviously needed it.
Peh. He's not CEO material.
That's because you practically interrogated the young man.
A little questioning shouldn't have bothered him. He's obviously not ready for any title in our company.
I bit my tongue. I didn't want to make a scene with my dad. One wrong word and he lectured me in front of everyone. That was not something that I wanted at my housewarming party. I let out a sigh before looking at the clock. It was getting close to midnight, meaning that the party was going to end soon. I lowered my gaze out the window and saw a limo pull up. Eh? Whose limo is that?
Oh, that must be Lewis's car.
Who the fuck is Louis?
I'll go get him. Stay with your father so you can escort your guests out together.
Who is Louis? Yeah, Mom. My mother left my dad and me to slowly escort the guests out. My dad held his simple smile as he thanked each person for coming. I did the same. Andrew quickly passed the doors before I could speak. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, my parents, and the Incubi were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him, a wave of confusion washing over my face. What?
You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Thank you, Dad.
Keep it up and you'll be a good CEO.
I don't like parents who are writing future for their children, really. It's annoying. Right.
Alright, your mother and I have to leave. I'm sure Naomi and Suzu need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party.
We'll come visit tomorrow or something. All right?
Right. See ya.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
No. Will do. No. All four of my remaining guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase, exhausted. That was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
She handled herself the best she could.
As expected, Princess.
Shut up.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Hush, Sam.
Are you guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Ho ho ho! It didn't take long to find you little shits after all.
I felt a shudder run down my spine. The voice from my dreams echoed through the air into my ears. I looked around, panicked. Alongside the Incubi, James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to remain calm.
Don't worry. No one will hurt you.
But what was that?
Are you sure? Are you really sure?
All of us shot our heads towards the doors, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. The doors quickly swung open, revealing a sight I would have never expected to see. Skin red as blood, eyes black and gold piercing into mine, roughened up, clothes and a pistol in his hand. I saw a monster. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. I covered my mouth to not scream at the sight. Dried blood covered the bandana around his neck as he smirked at me and the boys around me. Beside the red-skinned man was a similar-looking woman in matching folk-like clothes.
Oh, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you?
I hoped you would, you piece of...
All of a sudden, the man raised his gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger. We all gasped in shock, instinctively expecting to see a bullet run through Sam's face. But...
What the fuck?
What?
What should have been a headshot ended up with a loud but empty blank shot. The pistol echoed its empty shots as the man grew more and more pissed, pulling the trigger over and over in aggravation. Luckily for my ears, it became quieter after its first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
This place is protected.
Huh?
What did you say, Shrimp?
This place has a seal, protecting it from hellborn magic.
Ooh.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The man growled and threw his gun at Sam, who was able to dodge it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple times before sliding further away, hitting the wall in a final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into black flame that disappeared into the air.
The previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malix.
Malix, that was his name. His existence resonated in my memory from the dream I had. However, I looked at the to Matthew in the same confusion as Malix did. This place protected by magic?
It would seem that your grandfather had some sort of protective barrier around this house. From the looks of it, it only disables hellborn magic.
Malix's face grew to that of extreme anger, his fist tightening as if he was crushing a stress ball.
Then what's stopping me from dragging your asses out and shooting you then?
Out of pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed myself between Malix and the boys. With no power, Malix wasn't going to fight. I took the chance to stand up to him instead of being powerless like I was in the dream. Fuck off! Leave them alone! Get out of my house! Get out of my house! Malix rolled at me, walking right up to me and leaning close to my face. I glared back, feeling my courage skyrocket.
Since when does a little stain like you give orders to a guy who can rip your pretty little head from your body?
You really don't think, do you? If you kill me, you'd be hunted down by more than just police.
You little...
I can't. Duck. What? No! No!
You little...
Duck! That's what Piccolo in Dragon Ball taught us. I ducked underneath Malix's incoming hand. I stared at his hand and his black flame tattoo in surprise. I took a couple steps back from Malix. Matty and Damien stepped in front of me, guarding me from Malix with their arms.
A quick one. I'm liking you more and more.
Back off, Malix!
Don't start acting tough, you pathetic excuse of a demon. You need more protection than her.
Shut up!
Oh, did I make little Matthew cry? Why don't you just grow a pair?
Enough, Malix.
The woman, who had been standing in silence the whole time, planted a firm hand on Malix's shoulder. Malix looked back at her with a glow and a glare that could kill.
Since when did you get the guts to speak out of place?
We both know you've never controlled me. I want them dead just like you do. But now's not the time.
Now is not the time.
Fuck off! I know what I'm doing.
No, you don't.
Do you? Even if you did fight them, there's 5 against 2. We never win.
6. Learn the maths.
Shut up!
Let's go, Malix! We're wasting our time!
The two growled at each other. If I could have used their magic, I could sense that fire would glow under their teeth. Malix grunted and glared at the boys. He pointed at James, wanting so badly to use his fingers like a knife.
Just wait, boys. We'll get you and fuck you up real good.
Okay, then Malix turned to me, moving his finger to point directly between my eyes.
And don't think you're safe. Step outside. I dare you.
Shut up. With that, Malix and the woman walked out of the mansion. A door closed behind them, leaving the boys and I alone once again. I felt my knees give out from under me, forcing the boys to quickly turn to catch me.
Whoa, whoa! Are you alright?
No? Why was he here?
He's been closely tracking us. Our blood trail from the forest must have led him here.
We should have stopped him and finished it here.
For once, Matthew, I agree with you.
I stood up and rubbed my arms, feeling the ghost bombs Malix left behind on me. I couldn't stop myself from shivering in fear of his words, and we will continue shivering during the break. And we'll stop that in the next episode. See you then. Bye.